Talk about dope Black Houston history. I'm currently at 5202 Griggs Road. You're right, that is the historic Houston Texans YMCA.
This is the first colored wine. So we started out in, I think it was 1935, I believe, as the colored wine. We were down to, then we moved over on Bagby Street. Then from there, they moved to the near the campus of Texas Southern University, the South Central YMCA. So 10 years ago, we're celebrating our 10-year anniversary. We moved into this building. We have a partnership with the Houston Texans YMCA, so we're their community partner. And so our doors opened 10 years ago, this past January. And so who really spearheaded this, Captain Quentin Armies, who is from Houston. Right, he's not even from Houston. I think he was actually born in Iowa and he got his graduate degree in 1928. So when he passed away in 2009, they were already working on the plans for this building. I can't remember if they had already broken ground or not. And so 1 year late, 2010, he died in February of 09. 2010, no, we opened in 2011, so 2 years later we opened because we celebrated our 10-year anniversary this year. And so again, we have another program at the YMCA with the YMCA called our Minority Achiever Awards, which is how I actually learned about the YMCA because I was a minority achiever for the work that I did with community health. So in 2008 or 2009, I was honored, and that was really my introduction to the YMCA. So when the position became available, executive director, a couple of people reached out to me and asked if I'd be interested in applying. I applied, and I started here in October of 2018. So really excited, great organization, but our Y is very historic in that during the civil rights movement, the South Central Y, that was a hub and a meeting spot for a lot of the civil rights activists because the location was not too far from Mueller Avenue Baptist Church on the campus of Texas Southern University. Well, we can see this room is dedicated to Judge Carl Walker. He passed away, but he's a very affluent African-American judge in the city, did a lot of work. His wife, Miss Janice Walker, is still living and carries on his legacy of work in the community as well.
Wow. Talk about dope Black history. Thank you, Judge Carl Walker. And thank you to the Houston Texans YMCA, carrying on the legacy of the colored YMCA founded in 1918 for the Black community in Houston. Although Quentin Armies is not a Houston native, he is responsible for some of the dopest Black history here in Houston. And that's why Dopest History has decided to shed a light on the historical Houston Texans YMCA, Quentin Armies, and the history that comes with it, including Executive Director Kelly P. Hodges. What's up, Houston? What's up, H-Town? Hello, world. It's your girl, Dopest, the dopest Black historian, here with the Executive Director of the historic Houston Texans YMCA. Kelly P. Hodges is an exemplary role model when talking about dope Black history. She has excelled in leadership positions that were for the advancement of the Black community, not only here in Houston, but other locations in Texas as well. As a native of St. Louis and a graduate of Grambling State University, Kelly Hodges' expertise has proved to be invaluable to the historical Houston Texans YMCA. Some of her professional accomplishments include being one of the top 50 Black health and wellness professionals by DMARS magazine, recognition by the Ivy League Education Charities Foundation for outstanding community service, and she was honored by the YMCA of Greater Houston as a minority achiever for her outstanding service in the Houston community in 2010. Hi, Kelly. Thank you so much for meeting with me and talking about the historic YMCA. What is something that you think should be shared with the dope historians in regards to Houston and the hidden Black community?
Well, the Houston Texans YMCA is the only YMCA in the country that's affiliated with the NFL franchise. But what's dope about the Houston Texans YMCA is the Houston Texans YMCA began as the first colored YMCA in Houston. So check that out in the history books. We started out as the colored Y over on Bagby Street, and then a few years later they moved over to into Third Ward near Texas Southern University, and it was the South Central YMCA, which was the hub of a lot of the social action movements, the civil rights movements, 60s and 70s. You have a lot of your civil rights leaders met there because at that time that was a safe place for African Americans to meet that were activists and like-minded community members and wanted to see the African American community expand and, you know, fighting for civil rights.
Dope Houston History Month is over, but that doesn't mean the Dopest Black History is gonna stop. Be sure that you tuned in and subscribe to Dopest History on YouTube. Be sure to follow Dopest History on Instagram and on Twitter. If you're unsure on how to do those things, go to the links in the description. For the things in the description shall lead you to everything Dopest History. Again, thank you for the subscriptions. Thank you for the followings, the comments, the feedback. I'm loving it, you guys. This is just the beginning. Trust and believe we are going up. Ride with me. Let's get it. Dopest Houston History over. The Dopest Historian out.